Welcome into the Sports Source. This segment of our show brought to you by Madisonville Marine. Warmer weather is coming, and that means now is the time to buy a Skeeter or a Stingray, maybe a Sweetwater or Suncatcher pontoon, maybe a Hurricane deck boat, or perhaps a G3 Sportsman or a G3 John boat. Madisonville Marine carries them all. All of those different makes and models of boats, all at Madisonville Marine. Highway 411 North in Madisonville, and madmarine.com to learn more. There is no better place to buy a boat. All right, I want to welcome in the next member of our panel as we start to talk football. Bob Hodge here, famous for walking on at UT and
running off.
Running off. All right. Jeremy Pruitt's first team kicks off spring practice, and I'm just glad we don't have to say this is Team 120. Done with that. I'm never going to say that again. What is the single biggest concern you have for Tennessee going into spring? What is the biggest concern for the spring?
Offensive line, offensive line, offensive line, combined with the new offense that you're putting in. Okay. You're going to have starters gone from your offensive line that are the guys that are going to play in the fall. Yeah. They're not going to have a chance to learn the offense, and you don't learn it looking at a blackboard. You learn it out there practicing it. And so I think your offensive line is going to be your biggest concern over the next, 5 weeks?
All right. Anybody got anything other than offensive line? That's up there.
I will add to that by saying your biggest concern is you don't hear some announcement that Trey Smith is not coming back or something like that.
Well, and one I would put out there too is you're changing your defense to a 3-4. Who are the four linebackers going to be? I mean, your leading tackler, Daniel Batuli, is coming off knee and shoulder surgery, correct? So, and then you got Darren Kirkland Jr., who was out all year, right?
And was hurt the year before as well.
Yes. Yeah. So who are those four linebackers going to be, and what kind of depth you're going to have behind them if that's what you want to do?
All right, we got O-line, we got linebacker, and all of them tie back to bodies and depth, and that's my number one issue. I would give it an umbrella, and that's, you're talking about a team that Pruitt himself has said this fall you're going to have 75 to 77 scholarship players, 8 to 10 below the limit. You're lower than that right now. Even guys like Jawan Jennings, who are going to be back on the team, you think, and as Pruitt said, he's back on the team, but he still has to carry up on his end, but he's not there for the spring. You've got guys out for the spring that you would think you're going to get there in the fall, so you're down to thin spots on that football team. Jimmy, what's your biggest concern?
I think, well, I can't argue with offensive line, but I think the defensive line is a concern. Who's your nose tackle? How your defensive ends do not measure up to what Alabama and other teams that run at 3-4 and are not big enough. So, and then you took one of them and moved him to tight end. So I think I would give offensive line number one, but I'd put defensive line in there too because it is a change of a system, and I'm not sure you have the personnel that suits what you're going to try to do.
All right, quick answers. Go ahead.
Cornerback. You lost your, top 3 corners from last year? Okay. Didn't sign one, I don't believe, or not many. So
shouldn't the question have been, what are you not concerned about?
Well, what we're going to do, then we'll come back. We'll touch on this in the next segment. We'll forward through the spring and look toward the fall, and we'll rank the position groups that are our biggest concerns. We'll do that next. But right now, who's the single most important player for the spring? Just very quickly, throw me a name. Who's the most important player in the spring for Tennessee?
Single most important player, I'm going to go with Garantano and see how he develops. I know he's added some weight. See if he can improve as much as he needs to from year 1 to year 2.
Mike Strange, who you got?
Ryan Johnson, Drew Richmond, Nathan Niehaus, Ollie Lane, Jerome Carvin. Is that enough?
Yeah, gotcha. Most important player to watch.
Shy Tuttle, you don't have a nose tackle. And if he can't play it, who can?
Point.
And
Bob?
If you don't have one, you're in trouble.
Bob?
I got to go with Chuck, quarterbacks, between Chris and Garantano.
Just to be different, say Chris.
Okay, Chris.
I'll throw one out of left field. They're going to move Tyler Bird to the secondary. You said corners?
Yes.
That would be a big help if he could go over there and be. So also that's a guy to watch, mainly because he's changing position. It's a position of need. Jimmy, I'll throw this just at you. Tennessee's added 2 grad transfers. Keller Christ, quarterback, came from Stanford. Running back Madre London came from Michigan State. That just this week. In doing so, those guys count against your allotment. So you're trading spots that you could give next year to four-year guys to one-year guys this year. Considering this, where are you this year and what you expect from this team, would you be making that kind of a switch, 4 years for 1 year, and doing it twice in the same season?
That guy better come in and be able to help you right away. If Chris can come in and start and help you get the bowl game, it's worth it.
Yeah.
London's your biggest back on campus right now. but you also had 2 blue shirts that count toward next year, so now you've only got 21 scholarships to offer next year. Will they offer another grad transfer? There's a thought that they will take a look at where they are in the spring, and if there's a, quote, grad transfer free agent out there, they might go that direction. But you got to be careful with those numbers.
Well, you lost one this year because you got Shaq Wiggins last year. You know, but I think you hit on the key. If it's the difference between 5 wins and 6, you get the bowl game, you get those all-important bowl practices that I know you value with great zeal. But if it gets you from 5 to 6, then it matters. If this team gets 5 wins, you're going to look back and say, wish you had those scholarships, I think. We'll see. When we come back, let's play a little fear factor. We will grade the position groups of Tennessee in terms of what we're seeing for the fall by fear, 1 through 4 out of the 9 choices I got on the board. Fear factor, next on the Sports Source.